will come before the Revere License Commission at our regular meeting today, March 21st. Initially, we will be reviewing applications submitted for consideration. Item number 1 is the Immaculate Conception Parish School, 127 Winthrop Avenue, Stephen Hanley, contact. This is an application for the Immaculate Conception Parish School for a special one-day license for malt wine, common victular, and entertainment to be exercised at Father Brennan Hall from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, April 7th for their annual Pot of Gold fundraising dinner. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
My name is Stephen Patrick Hanley, principal of Immaculate Conception School. My home address or the school address?
School address will be fine.
127 Winthrop Avenue, Revere.
Thank you very much.
Just want to request our 2 junior varsity teams won the state championships and they're going to Connecticut. And the planning committee and the board requested that the date that we put there, April 7th, could be April 28th, because so many families will be out of state watching this fabulous event.
Yes, my nephew's on that team. Very proud of him.
Yes.
Congratulations. So you want to change the date on this to April 28th?
Right, the parents of the school made that request.
Okay, so the common victular entertainment and malt wine license will be for April 28th between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Is that what you're looking for?
That's correct.
Very good, sir. Do you want to explain briefly what the event is about?
Well, it's an annual event that the parents are involved. It provides the means for the children to attend the school. It allows the tuition to be contain the cost of the tuition, and it allows us also to share a family and parish atmosphere, bringing the parish and the school together as well.
Very good. It sounds like a great event. Do any of my colleagues have any questions?
I have no questions. I've attended the Pot of Gold dinners, and it's a great time for everybody.
Yes.
I have no questions.
Okay, thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the special one-day license. Is there a second on the motion?
I'll second the motion.
It's unanimous. The motion is approved for an application for a special one-day license for malt wine, common victular, and entertainment. That license will be exercised at Father Brennan Hall, 127 Winthrop Avenue, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. on April 28th, 2018,
Right.
for the annual Pot of Gold fundraising event.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Item number 2, Black Marble Motorcycle, LLC, DBA Boston Harley Davidson, 649-1 Squire Road. Heather Vieira is the event manager. This is an application for 5 special one-day malt wine, common victular, and entertainment licenses. These licenses are to be exercised at the same location, 649-1 Squire Road, for 3 separate occasions. The requested dates and times are Thursday, March 22nd, 2018, from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. for a ladies' night event. And the second request is for Friday through Sunday, April 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2018, from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. for a 3-day tent sale. And the third event is Thursday, April 26th, 2018, from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. for a luau.
Yes.
Very good. And your name and address for the record, please?
Heather Vieira, 13 Jones Street in Everett, Massachusetts.
Very good. And can you explain briefly what these events are about and what you plan on doing here?
Yes, tomorrow night we're hosting a ladies' night at Boston Harley Davidson, encouraging female riders to enroll in the Riding Academy program, and we're running through demonstrations of how to pick up a motorcycle, the specific gear that they need in order to ride the motorcycle. So we plan on having a fun evening for them tomorrow night, and we'd like to be able to serve them beer and wine. Before I move on to the next one, are there any questions for tomorrow? Okay.
No, I guess my only question, but I guess it would pertain to all 5 events.
Yes.
It's going to be outdoor service of beer and wine. Will you be using plastic containers for that?
We use cans.
Cans?
Yes. We don't allow glass.
No bottles, no?
No, we just use the cans, though, but the bartenders do open them. They don't walk off with them unopened. But for our tent sale at the beginning of April, on the 6th, 7th, and 8th, we would like to have the beer allowed outside of the building. We have a 40 by 60 tent that is going to be set up in our parking lot, and we'd only like the beer to go from the front door to the tent and then back. Those are the only areas we'd like it. Yeah. And then the following month, we're also doing a luau, similar to what we're doing for Ladies' Night, except open for male and female, throwing a luau theme, getting people excited about riding season, and just kind of reminding them, come in, get your motorcycle serviced. If you're getting it out of winter storage, what needs to be done, and just kind of allowing the community to come together.
Do you have any questions?
I don't. They've had many events over the last several years, and they're.
I just have, I'm
gone
sorry.
without incident, from my understanding, so I really don't have any questions.
I have one question, just on the tent event. Are you going to be allowing alcohol service in the tent area?
No, we'd like to keep the service inside of the building, but we have customers who were putting used bikes under the tent outside, so we'd like them to be able to take their open beer from inside of the building to the tent, which it's approximately 200 feet from the front door.
To the
tent.
And is there going to be any cordoned off area, or will people be allowed to roam freely once they exit for that 200 feet before they get to the tent?
So the 200 feet, we have our sales staff that's located in between the front door and the tent and inside of the tent. So they'll be monitoring, making sure that nobody walks off with an open can.
And so the service itself, as far as where the alcohol and the service will commence, well, that'll be inside the building?
Yes.
I have no questions.
I see on the 6th, you expect to have around 100 people at that event?
I feel like over the course of Saturday and Sunday, we should have approximately 100 people coming and going throughout the day. Friday on the 6th, probably not as many. We're looking at about half of that, about 50 people for the whole day. Most people will be working, but we wanted it to go all weekend.
Okay, and I see you do have security,
Yes.
and also the police department's notified.
Right, I just had one question. I know in the past you've had a 2-drink limit. Is that going to continue?
Yes. Yes, we continue, we monitor it with our wristbands. So when they come and get their beers, we mark off on the wristband how many they have. And they're also pretty good at recognizing the faces that come in. It's usually me at the bar.
Okay. So is it, Lieutenant, do we need any security, or their security's fine, or?
I think in the past we've been fine with their security. If it's a smaller type crowd like that, we haven't had any problems in the past. I don't see this.
No need of detail?
I don't think this time.
Okay, if it did go over that 100 limit and go into the 150, you may want to just give Lieutenant Randall a call and let him know.
Right, if they get an indication that the crowd's going to be bigger than you expect, then call us and we can provide a detail.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Very good. I will make a motion to approve the applications. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
The application to approve 5 special one-day malt, wine, common victular, and entertainment licenses to be exercised at 649-1 Squire Road, DBA Boston Harley Davidson. The licenses, the requested dates and times are Thursday, March 22nd, 2018, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a ladies' night event. Friday through Sunday, April 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2018, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for a 3-day tent sale, and then the third license on Thursday, April 26th, from 2018 through, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Before I can approve these licenses, I'm sorry, I needed to ask for any proponents, are there any proponents out there who would like to speak on behalf of this license? Are there any opponents who would like to oppose this license? Hearing and seeing that, I'll close that part of the hearing, and your licenses have been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number 3, this is Mary Wasso, doing business as Revere Psychic Studio, 230 Squire Road. Mary Wasso, manager. This is an application for a change of location for a fortune teller license.
Yes,
The application of Mary Wasso, DBA Revere Psychic Studios, for a change of location from 1040 North Shore Road to 230 Squire Road.
yes.
Very good. And your name and address for the record, please, ma'am?
Mary Wasso, 230 Squire Road, Revere, Mass.
Very good. And are you going to be providing the same services?
Same service, nothing's changed.
Very good. Do any of my colleagues have any questions?
Is this the location you were originally at? Were you
No.
on Squire Road?
No, you, on Squire Road, I was across the street, I forgot the address.
I think we were right on
On
the
top of
bend.
Pronels?
Yes.
Yes, but now I'm across the street, the blue and white house. It looks like a little house, but it's office space.
Okay.
It was for
And-
lease, it used to be insurance company, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Why are you leaving your location? You haven't been there that long on North Shore Road. Is there a reason you're leaving that location?
Business was not good at all, I can't lie. Not good, nobody even knew I was there.
No.
No. This is, everybody sees me. The business, the location is amazing.
Okay, and you live there also?
No,
No, you don't live
no,
there. Okay, so you're just renting that corner there?
yes, which I love.
Yes, I know you were in that area before, that's why
Yes.
I was surprised when you moved to North Shore Road, but you didn't stay there long.
No, it was bad. It was, nobody knew I was there.
Okay, I have no other questions.
Aren't you already there? There's signage there already, correct?
Yeah,
So you've already moved?
yeah, I spoke to Maggie. Maggie knew about it.
Okay. I was just curious. It's not like your point is, doesn't sound like you moved yet, but, which is fine. I just
Okay.
wanted to clarify. No, it's great.
It's, it's a great location. It's fabulous.
I think it's a good move for you.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Are there any proponents? Hearing and seeing none, I will close that section. Are there any opponents? Hearing and seeing none, I will close that section. I will make a motion to approve the application. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, guys.
The application is approved for a change of location for a fortune teller license. The application of Mary Wasso, DBA Revere Psychic Studio, for a change of location from 1040 North Shore Road to 230 Squire Road has been
Yes.
approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Item number 4, A&I Hospitality, Inc., DBA Kebab Hut, 163 Squire Road. Ijaz Akhtar, manager. This is an application for a common victuals license. The application of A&I Hospitality, Inc., DBA Kebab Hut, for a common victuals license, said license to be exercised at 163 Squire Road. The requested hours of operation are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Friday and through Sunday, 11 a.m. through 12 p.m. I'm sorry, through 12 a.m. That's midnight. Requested seating is 30. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Sure. Ijaz Akhtar, and your home address or the business address?
Either are, whatever you're
Eight-
comfortable.
8 Lawrence Street, Medford, Mass.
Thank you very much, sir. And can you explain a little bit about what you want to do at this location?
We're gonna sell the Pakistani Indian food, and when I apply for the license, they want me to update the fire system, the hood system, and also the gas, the gas and everything. So the work is almost done, like 80% is done. We're just like 2 weeks from calling for final inspections.
Very good.
Yeah.
I know that Mr. Wells has been in contact with you, and he says that you guys are making great progress.
I voluntarily
And
called
we really
him.
appreciate that. I know you took over a tough situation there.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate you cleaning it up and trying to make a better business out of it.
Yeah, that's the plan, sir.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from my colleagues?
No, I just, my main question was how long is it going to be so that it is up and running so you can open the doors?
Been paying rent for 4 months now, so I wanted to do ASAP. So hopefully in 2 weeks, we will be done with all final
You're
inspections.
thinking 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And Michael Wells hasn't signed off on anything
No,
yet?
nobody has signed off.
No.
I just invited him to see and point out whatever he wants to ask, and so, but we haven't called anybody for final inspection yet.
Okay.
But it's just like primary, just to get updates, so we don't, at the time when we call final inspection, we kind of like ready for it.
Did you put in new fire alarms?
Oh, yes.
did?
Yeah, we hook up with the fire system, with the fire alarm company, and there was no CO2 sensors, so all the gas systems been updated. Pretty much the equipment is new now, because we don't use the Chinese cooking, so our cooking appliances are mostly like brand new.
Okay.
So what is a convenience store?
No, it's just a restaurant, yeah, it's gonna be like, yeah,
No liquor,
no liquor,
okay, right now.
never.
Okay, so, seats 30. I don't have any notes on it.
It is actually a carryover from last.
Oh, was it? Okay. Oh, so he's the one that didn't, oh, you were here last month.
He was
Yes, sir.
moving to Jing's
Oh, I
spot,
see, I see,
and
I see.
we asked him to come back with a new application.
Correct.
Which had all of the proper inspections, and I think that's where we're at right now. And so,
So I don't, so what are you asking for today here?
Yeah.
and,
To,
Well,
or
when,
just, are you here for just an update, or are you trying to,
Get the license.
he's trying to get the application for the common victualer's license.
right, because we took the other license, I realize that. You
yes,
need a
and-
new license.
yes,
So, this, because I'm a little confused, application for transfer of common victual license, you're actually coming for a new license.
yes, that's what they
Right,
told me.
We took back the license.
I don't see a
Well,
transfer.
I don't know, I'm
It
looking
says
at.
application.
Oh, okay. So we're going for a new license, the old
Ye-
license
yes,
is
ma'am.
gone? Okay, that's why I was a little confused
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's
So
okay.
you're going for a brand-new common victual license?
Yes, ma'am,
So you're here today to apply for that
yes, ma'am.
without,
No, I don't have any backup on that.
without
Yeah, the last,
having the inspectional services signed off on it?
yeah.
Is that
they-
why you're here?
Yes,
Okay, I just want to clear that up.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess what we're asking for here is the a little leniency on the license.
Yes, actually, I think he's met all of the requirements that we asked him to.
He
and,
has, except we don't have the sign-offs.
uh,
Yeah, preliminary, but we don't have sign-offs. Right. We don't have fire, we don't have, so you're saying 2 weeks, that you should have everything done within 2 weeks you're looking at?
yes.
And when are you going to call the fire for the sign-off?
Within 2 weeks. The system is already done, so it just have to be called and they're going to run the test.
Right, but they
It's already
haven't been
done.
there, right, so
Yeah,
we don't really have sign-offs on that. So I'd like to hear how my colleagues, how they'd like to go with
Well,
this,
I guess
because we've been, you
maybe
were here
on my
last
part
month.
was not enough knowledge, so I thought that this is the part of it, and then once, like, because it only falls once a month, the meeting,
Right,
so, and also what happened that for a week and a half, my mother has to be in a knee surgery, so couldn't do anything for a week and a half. Was with her in the Mass Journal. Now he's in a rehab, so I kind of like lose a week and a half in between also. Otherwise, it could have been almost done by right now. So when I'm not there, then the people doesn't show up either, you know. They tell me they'll be.
I have no problem with the
Yeah,
common
yeah.
victual license, we just need the sign-offs
Yeah.
from the inspectional services. You're saying you think you're gonna be ready in 2 weeks?
Yes.
You're not sure?
No, we almost ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
He's waiting for them.
I'm looking,
I mean, like,
no, he hasn't called the fire department.
just-
I think we can go contingent on these being signed.
Yes, I think that's
Is
typically
where
what...
we have to go. I'm not in favor of that at most times, only because fire is the most important to me, so I like to see the sign off on that. And I know Michael Wells, I've spoke with him, and he said you're doing everything you've been asked to.
Yes. But today, when the people from A1 ventilation was there, and they were testing the answer system and everything, now it's up to me, when rest of the things, the way we want to look at it, we'll call fire and everybody, because we are ready, because
Right.
for clean up and all that and everything. But they came and they've put everything all together today. All,
Where is the parking? I'm looking at, you have the 2 spots in front.
yeah, 2 spots at the front,
Side street, so they're like parking on the
and there's a side street, yeah.
Yeah. I think with the commercial property there, we're not really that concerned about parking as the businesses on Broadway. When it's commercial on a main drag, I don't think they need X amount of spots.
All right, sir, well, thank you very much. Are there any other proponents or any proponents to this license? Hearing and seeing none, I will close that section. Are there any opponents to this license? Hearing and seeing none, I will close that section. I will make a motion to approve this license.
Quick question before.
Sure.
So when do you want to open?
I wanted
If you
to,
had a discretion, when would you want to open officially?
honestly, to work done right, I need 2 weeks
From today?
from today.
You'd be able to open it? if you
Open,
wanted
yeah.
it approved.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's just that I wasn't familiar with how this thing works. It's only once in a month the meeting comes. So, and today I was kind of like praying, I hope it doesn't snow, the meeting don't cancel, you know. I was a little scared, but
Well,
looks
I
like it shifted to tomorrow.
Yeah, I think as far as the dates, maybe they're not as important to us, they're important to you.
Yeah.
Because if it was approved, contingent on the inspectional services signing off,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to pick that license up until we had that in hand anyway. So
Yes.
for us, if we did approve it today, you still couldn't pick it up until everything was done, but it wouldn't make you wait a full month to pick
Yes,
up your
yes.
license.
I mean, I don't know how it works, but the office can hold the license until I get all the inspections done, and then instead of for me coming next 21 again, so.
Very good, sir. Thank you. Once again, I'll make a motion to approve the license. Is there a second on that motion?
Approve the license contingent on us receiving all the inspectional services sign-offs.
That's correct.
And then you can pick it up once we have all the paperwork.
It's fine, thank you.
I'll second the motion. Nope.
The vote is unanimous to approve the application for A&I Hospitality, Inc., DBA Kabab Hut, for a common victual license. The said license to be exercised at 163 Squire Road. The requested hours of operation are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. through 11 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. through 12 a.m. The requested seating is 30, and the license is contingent upon you receiving all of the necessary sign-offs that are required.
Sure.
Thank you very much,
All
sir.
right, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
See, this number here is my concern, because that really comes from the fire department, occupancy. So I hope he has 30.
I think he does from the
The
last
fire
one.
may, oh, okay. But that's how it was.
Item number 5, Felicita Diello, DBA Bruin Cafe, 311 Broadway. Anthony DALO manager. Application for a transfer of a common victualer's license. The application of Felicita Aiello.
Delelio.
I'm sorry?
Delelio.
Delelio.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Delelio. It's
Thank
okay.
you.
And you can call me Felicia. That's a hard name. People call
Okay.
me Felicia.
The license is from Neil DeRosa, and said license to be exercised at 311 Broadway. The requested hours of operation are Sunday through Saturday, 6:30 a.m. through 4 p.m., and the requested seating is 16. And your name and address for the record, please, ma'am?
It's Felicita Delelio, 452 Broadway, Somerville, Mass. 02143. Fine.
Very good.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you'd like to do here?
I'm going to keep everything the same. I have a passion for food, and I've been doing this for a long, long time. And it's something that I really like the area, and to continue just serving the community and doing my
Great.
best at what I love to do.
Do any of my colleagues have any questions?
No, just, what experience have you had?
Oh,
Yes.
I've owned businesses before, yeah.
You have?
I've been in the food business, yeah, and
Have you-
coffee.
Have you ever had a license in the city of Revere?
No,
No.
not in Revere.
Okay. No, I have no other questions.
Do you have any questions?
So you're getting it, if some, who's transferring this deal?
Neil DeRose. That's
Are you
me.
staying there?
Purchasing, yeah, my husband and I. Yeah, thank
No, I was just more curious about seeing in there. Great place to get espresso.
thank you.
I have no questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll close that part of the hearing. Are there any proponents to this license? I hear and see none. I'll close that section. Are there any opponents? I'll close that section. I will make a motion to approve the license. Is there a second?
I'll second.
The license is approved. The application to transfer a common victualer's license. The application of Felicita Aiello, doing business as Bruin Cafe. Anthony Aiello, manager, for transfer of a common victualer's license from Neil DeRosa. Said license to be exercised at 311 Broadway. The requested hours of operation are Sunday through Saturday, 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the requested seating is 16.
16.
Thank you. The license is approved. Good luck. Item number 6. Joseph Leon Matola Post, number 4524, VFW USA, Inc., 61 Lucia Avenue. Daniel Zwicker, manager. This is an application for a change of manager. The application of the Joseph Leon Matola Post, 4524, VFW US, Inc., Daniel Zwicker, manager, for a change of manager from John Joseph Ross. And your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Al Ambrosino. I am the quartermaster for the Joseph L. Matola VFW post located at 61 Lucia Avenue in Revere. And what I'm here for, the previous licensee decided to retire from the position, so the commander appointed a new VFW member to become the new licensee. He had a doctor's appointment today. His only means of transportation is public, so I guess he just couldn't make it. My commander was also scheduled to be here, but he has a part-time position, snow plowing, so I guess I'm not going to see him here. We've been at, Joseph L. Matola Post has been in the city of Revere for approximately about 60 years, and I don't recall any problems at all with the license, nor any problems with the neighborhood area. up to a year ago, we just moved to Lucia Avenue, trying to expand our facilities and try to expand the, whatever we may. I can't say profits because this is a non-profit organization, but there's where we are now. I don't recall any problems at all that they had, either with the license or with the neighborhood areas from either the previous area, which is at 10 Garofalo Street, or the present area right now at Lucia Avenue in Revere.
Very good, sir. Do any of my colleagues have any questions?
No, I'm very familiar with the club. I live near the club.
Thank you.
By Garofalo
Thank
Street,
you.
named after a family member. And it's always been a great club to go to.
Yeah.
Nice organization, and Mr. Ross did a great job.
Right.
So I have no questions.
No questions? Fine. Thank you very much, sir. Are there any proponents to this license transfer? Hearing and seeing none, I will close that section. Are there any opponents? Hearing and seeing none, I will close that section. I will make a motion to approve the application. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
The application to transfer the change of manager of the Joseph Leon Mottola Post, 4524, VFW USA Inc., Daniel Zwicker, manager, for a change of managers from John Joseph Ross, has been approved. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
That concludes the applications submitted for consideration. The next item on the agenda are hearings. Item number 8 is RK&E Corp., DBA BK's Bar and Grill, 264 Ocean Avenue. Marilyn Sims, manager. This is a hearing into possible violations of license regulations stemming from alleged violations of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 94C. Is there anybody on behalf of BK's? I'm sorry, yeah, it was BK's Bar and Grill. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman and members, good afternoon. James Cipolletta, 385 Broadway, Revere, on behalf of the licensee. Marilyn Sims and Bob Kelly are here as well. I may want to address the commission, or I do want to address the commission preliminarily on a matter, and that is that I was retained about 2 hours ago. We don't have a copy of the report. Bob Kelly, who came back from Miami today or last night, was under the impression that this was on next week. But in fact,
I apologize. I thought it was next week, but I expect Marilyn to remind you today, and I had called Jimmy right away.
but nonetheless, even were we not in such a time crunch and such a short run-up to the hearing, I would request a continuance of the matter for the following reasons. Number one, we'd need to investigate the allegations against the establishment. I understand that there was a gentleman who was arrested outside the establishment. He has his court date, according to the information that Mr. Kelly was able to establish, tomorrow. We would probably seek to call him as a witness, but we have two difficulties with that. One, he's represented by counsel, and second, he has a Fifth Amendment right until such time as his criminal case is concluded. So we then would be prejudiced before the board, not by any fault of the police or the municipal administrators, but in order to receive the appropriate amount of due process and the time to investigate and put together a defense to these charges, which are very serious, I think we need some time. I'm not sure what the schedule is. I've been attempting to find out. There are several defendants, and I understand by speaking with some law enforcement, that this was part of a global operation that spanned not only Revere but surrounding cities as well. And there are a number of reports out there. I have no reports, and I think I did get an email yesterday from Lieutenant Azari that was putting together some reports for me. I believe that they need to be redacted by the department, and I think that they need to be separated out from some other part of an ongoing, I think it may have been a task force investigation. So I would respectfully request that this matter and the two behind it, who are also my clients, be continued until the appropriate time so that we can have the benefit of the report, so we'll know exactly what the alleged facts that underlie the complaint are, and that we have the opportunity to put together something that's an intelligent and well-developed defense for the commission, so that the hearing would go smoothly. We're just not in the position to do that today.
Counsel, I'm glad you came up, and I understand that you do have to get the records together, and I'm sure there's a lot to straighten out, but I have no problem with the continuance. I'm a little disappointed as to something that I've read. I've known these people for a long time. I've always had great businesses, and I'm hoping the story turns around a little bit, but in the meantime, I have no problem with the continuance, with as long as my colleagues. But on the other hand, I do feel that, the concern, the board should do something at this point, okay? I can't just see it going this, and it's three different stories. I'm taking them all individually because everything happened a little different at each establishment. So for me to grant the continuance on my part, I would also like to go along with that, saying my colleagues are joining me, is that should something, I don't know, and I don't want to get into the case, I don't know what they've done with these employees that were involved at this point, but to make me more comfortable that something has been done and these businesses are taking this very serious, I would like to, along with that continuance, if something were to happen at any of the three establishments, you are speaking for all three at this time.
Yes, I think that makes more sense since we're all similarly situated, although it appears to me that the facts underlying both the arrest and the alleged violation of the License Commission rules and regulations are different. I think there are some procedural things that are in common.
But I would like to, at that point, if within this time, before you can get all the paperwork together and, see what went on with each establishment, and I know it was all different, I would like to see if something were to happen before you come back with the vote of my colleagues, I'm not sure how they feel, that the hours of the establishments would be rolled back until 12 o'clock, until the hearing. This is only if, and that's individually.
Right.
I'm not saying should one bar have a problem, all three get rolled back. But in the meantime, while you have your time to get everything in order, that would be put in place. We wouldn't need a hearing if this were to continue, if the same employees are there or whatever is taking place. This will show me anyways that they've done something to move forward and there isn't going to be any more problems there. So mine would be to accept the continuance with a rollback of anyone's hours individually to 12 o'clock should something happen. There will be no hearing. They will just be notified that they will have new hours. I'll put that in the form of a motion, and I would, okay, you can make a substitute motion if you'd like to.
Yes.
But that's how I feel, and I just want to clear that it isn't if one establishment has problems, everyone goes to 12.
Right.
These are three different cases. I'm looking at them very differently. With some of the reports that I've read, I don't think we can do a blanket hearing. Everyone
No,
makes their
I
own.
didn't
Right, I don't want to see that. I
suggest
would-
that. I will say, Madam Commissioner, though, I've spoken to the management of all three of these establishments, and the individuals named in the notice that was sent to them, there was three different individuals with one for each of the bar. They're not allowed on the premises, they do not work there. As a matter of fact, one of the defenses for one of our establishments is that that person was not an employee at the time of the arrest. But we will endeavor to put together the records, and I know we have some security footage, we have some other information that we would like to present to the commission, as well as look at the police reports and find out who was actually working on those days, whether management was there, whether any ownership representatives were there. And on behalf of a second client, it's been identified that on several different days, the bartender allegedly sold to an undercover. Only on 2 of those days had the bartender worked. So we need to sort of drill down on some of this stuff so that we can make an intelligent and honest presentation to the commission.
Okay, and are you, excuse me.
Go ahead.
And are you, I would hope with this hearing, and I don't really want to get into
No,
details because we have.
I just didn't want the
With this
commission to think we
hearing,
were doing nothing.
Are we going to, well, that's how I feel. I
Right.
just want to make sure that they've done something, and they'll stay with that, and the hours will go back to 12 o'clock if they change their mind.
He hasn't been in since the.
Good.
But,
Haven't seen him since.
Okay, but, on the
I
other
understand
hand-
that the commissioner's motion is fairly broad, that something happened.
but I would like to also, at the hearing, that these people who were involved in this are at this hearing as witnesses.
And I fully intend to subpoena them. Unfortunately, while their cases are pending in the court system, they're not going to come up here and
I
testify
understand that.
for us.
But we'll have the police reports.
But I mean, I know the chairman is well aware of how this all works, so.
Well, Counselor, I mean, I understand that each one of these are going to be taken individually. However, they do have something in common. They all had employees that were selling drugs. They each had drugs stored on the premises, according to the police reports that we were able to read, that each employee went back into the premises to obtain packages for sale. Where they kept them, we don't know. But
That's why we need the
that's
the
correct.
footage.
But one
right.
thing is clear, the licensee was not properly controlling the premises at the time. So there are issues here that we don't really need police reports for, because there were things that occurred that are pretty much on its face, the lack of control of the premises. But I will defer to my colleagues on that.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, there's no question about it. But I think, and again, I don't want to get into the case, but I just wonder who was management, and those will be the questions I'll be asking. Who was managing that night, and were there any owners in the building when this took place? I mean, was this employee, and I guess those are facts. Was he working alone? Was he?
Right.
I really don't want to get into the
And we want to
case
be
of
able to
this.
tell you that.
Right.
And if it is, it is. If it's not, it's not. I
Right.
mean,
But ultimately, they're responsible for their license. There's no question
Indeed.
about it. As Commissioner Solovich said, they're responsible, but they're responsible to know if somebody is keeping undesirable supplies in their business.
right.
So I
That's why
think
I'm very
that-
eager to see the police reports.
Right. So I think I'm not going to ask any more questions at this point. Obviously, I have several of them, and they would be all different for each establishment. So I'm just going to stay with that motion that I had, that, we would roll back the hours without warning. They would just receive a letter. We don't need a hearing, and there is no appeal to rolling back hours. So that would be permanent. Till the hearing, I'm sorry.
No,
That-
I did understand what you said.
So, Lieutenant Randall, it seems like, was there a connection here with this thing, with all the 3 establishments, or was it completely independent?
I think, any questions in regards to the specific of the case, you'd have to direct to Sergeant Impemba.
Okay.
Do you want to hear from Sergeant Impemba?
Yeah, sure it would.
Sergeant Impemba, can you come up, please?
Oh, I didn't know that was him.
I didn't even know he was here.
I did, sorry.
Good afternoon.
Thank
How are
you.
you?
What's your name and address for the record, please?
Sergeant Robert Impemba, out of the Revere Police Station, 400 Revere Beach Parkway.
Thank you very much, Sergeant, and I believe Commissioner LaCroix has some questions for you.
Sure.
So it seems like there's a common thread here in the type of drug, and the time frame is very close.
Yes,
and the locations are close. So
yes.
Would you put your mic on, please? Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, I have one over here. Yeah, so the timeframes are close, the locations are close, the substance is, I think, similar, or some of it. So I'm just trying to understand, this is the first I'm aware of this, even though it happened a couple of months back. Maybe just fill us in on some of the detail on what you found and what,
It was basically a 2-month undercover narcotics investigation, and it basically targeted some of the local bars in the Shirley Ave, Ocean Ave, Bay Beach Boulevard area. We had numerous undercovers enter these establishments after we received information that there were certain individuals selling the Class B substance cocaine, whether it was over the bar or somewhere within the bar. The undercovers in the operation were extremely successful, and 4 bars total were targeted. 3 out of the 4 bars, we were able to purchase cocaine from employees. In the 4th bar, we purchased from a patron.
so you're actually, you're looking at the establishments versus the individuals? when you-
Correct.
These things?
Correct. We don't really have a very good idea of who is inside selling until we're able to get in and make observations during the investigation.
Okay. Then you can dive into more detail.
Yes, once we have an idea of who's distributing narcotics or who we believe to be distributing narcotics within those premises, then our focus turns to them.
Yeah, because the reason I'm asking, I'm trying to figure out if the establishment would have any knowledge of this going on.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's kind of where, because I'm trying to digest a lot of this stuff.
I just don't want to get into the hearing and jeopardize any case.
Oh, I agree,
At this
but,
point where he's asking for contingent.
but if we don't ask the questions now, we're going to be asking the same questions a month from now. So if I get some more information that we can disclose, then like when we come back, because like, there's no way I can make a recommendation or a motion based on just reading this information, but is there anything else to add from you, that you want to add that we haven't asked yet?
Other than identifying some of the employees that were distributing the Class B substance, we identified a major player who was a customer that was inside of these establishments, more than one establishment that was distributing significant amounts of cocaine while inside the establishments on a daily basis.
All right, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Sergeant. I will make a motion to continue the hearing until next month, with a proviso that if there is any violations of the license in the next month, there will be an automatic rollback of the hours to 11 o'clock. And that will be put in place for any establishment that has a violation within that 1 month for the next hearing.
Well, Commissioner, are you making a substitute motion? I have a motion on the floor, so you want to
Yes,
make a substitute?
I would like to make
11
a
o'clock.
substitute motion and substitute the hour from midnight to 11 o'clock.
And as you said, we'll take each one individually.
Yes, we'll take one, each one individually. Yes, Counselor.
What is the date of the next meeting?
That would be the third Wednesday of April. I'm not sure the date.
April 18th.
I was told by Mr. Faisal, I was told in advance of the meeting too, that he will be away on the 18th. I'm perfectly happy to go forward with the other two, if both those managers are going to be here. Because I did see or hear, I think it was in the notice, I read that one of the phones that was taken from a woman in the establishment was registered to that woman and Sammy Faisal. So I would need Sammy at the meeting in order to go forward with the hearing.
We can certainly understand that, Counselor. However, if he is unable to attend, granting another continuance is going to be difficult.
I don't want to grant, I don't want another continuance, I just want another date.
Okay.
For
It's
him.
April 18th.
Okay, and he's not going to be here.
I think that's going
He'll
to
be out of
pretty
the
hard
country.
for his case not being here, because then it would be 2 months. We only meet
I
once a
understand.
month.
understand.
On that Thursday.
And the other, and although none of us have control over this, with respect to these putative defendants, the defendants now, and I saw some of the names, and if they're, I'm not sure where their court case is going to be. I mean, again, I'm happy to come back on the 18th, and if we're ready to go, if we can go forward, I'd like to. And I know that the commissioners want to hear from some of these people, but if their cases are still pending, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to give you or us much information. But let's leave it on for the 18th, and I'll figure out.
Counsel, I guess I do agree with you on that. Again, there was a substitute motion. I don't know if we voted on it. Now it's back down to 11 o'clock, so if anyone has a problem here, it's going to be 11 o'clock if it's approved.
If it's approved.
And so, right now, Sammy's Patio, if they don't come next month, they're going to be for 2 months on that 11 o'clock
Right.
penalty. Should one, anything, it's not, has nothing to do with this issue. Whatever happens that shows us that the management cannot keep control, they're going to be at 11 o'clock. So I still want to go forward with the other two on the 18th. If he wants to go another month, he has to remember one thing, he's 11 o'clock. So, and that's up to my colleagues. You know, doing all three may be a lot in one evening too for the hearings, so I don't even mind, you know, taking 2 or 1, but it's pretty stiff, you know, that 11 o'clock, boy, that should wake everybody up, and it's not going to change. We don't need a meeting for it, we don't need anything. So I don't have a problem with if they want to wait till the following meeting, which would be May, but chances are he, you know, we have some holidays coming up in there, so he gets a large crowd. I would want to resolve this as soon as possible, but
Are you okay with terms of representing them without them here?
well, I have questions for.
My sister could be here, I just can't be here.
Yeah.
You don't want to ask me about the phone, why the phone was in my name,
Right.
you know?
The
I
girl
think-
who was doing that, and you both have the same phone number.
But I think you'd probably want it under oath, and rather than, and be
I
able
like
to ask
have-
him questions.
I like to have all individuals here. She's going to
Right.
come up, and it's going to be he said, she said, so
No,
that's just my opinion, so. I think we're going to go with the continuance. They don't have the,
They don't have any paperwork. I don't think
Yeah.
that's a wise.
like I said, there's a motion on the floor. There's a substitute motion rolled back of 11 o'clock for those that are not going to come to the hearing or anything happen. And I have no problem with extending till May for Sammy's Patio. And we'll hear BK's and Buster Bar on the
Would that be the
18th, April
6th?
18th.
Would that be, is May, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but
May would be the third Wednesday of the month.
that would be like the 16th or
16th.
thereabouts? Yeah, that's fine. I thank you for the accommodation. I
got
want to
it
make
all
sure I
down
put
now.
on a
Are you-
case that it's a good case. You
I
know,
mean, you got everything written down. I personally, when I have a hearing, I like all parties there.
Right.
Because everybody seems to want to switch who said what.
No, but I think we'll have plenty to do on April 18th anyhow with the other two, so.
Well,
And I assume that the police witnesses are going to be the same in all three.
But on the other hand, too, Counselor, I'm not going to go with another continuance on the other two. We'll
No.
go forward on the 18th.
Oh, no.
Unless there is a problem that the courts come down with something and there's an injunction or something like that, but I'm moving forward with the other
Yeah,
two.
I will mention, I mean, we have now a couple of weeks to do the investigation and send people out to interview the witnesses, and when I see the police reports, I'll know who those people are who need to be further
You have a full
questioned.
month to get all the facts, but I personally, summer's coming, I'm not going for any more contingent. I'm speaking for myself, I don't speak for my colleagues.
I get that as well. And while Sergeant Impemba is here, not to put him on, no, he is, okay. If I could get the reports sooner than later, and I know that there are redactions and there are other things that need to be done with it. So the sooner I get those, the quicker I can probably wrap this up and be ready for the commission. But I anticipate being ready.
Well, summer months are coming. I would like this cleared up as soon as possible.
Very good, Counselor. Just to recap, do you have a question?
The detective mentioned a fourth establishment that was under, and the reason they're not here is they were cleared of any, 2 seconds, can you, because if we're gonna do three, if they mentioned there was 4 establishments.
There was a fourth establishment involved in the investigation. However, we did not identify any employees at that location that were distributing narcotics. We did, however, purchase from a customer at that location directly outside on the back deck.
Okay, so, but we're not disclosing that. That didn't come up in the hearing, there's no reason, was there a reason why it did not?
Well, I think it was customer to customer, wasn't it?
It was customer to undercover.
Yeah,
So-
so it wasn't really anything to do with the establishment, I guess that's.
Yeah, I think that's why it
Really
was,
putting a heavy burden on the establishment to police that. I mean,
No, I
employees
understood,
is one thing.
No, I understood, that's why I wanted to clarify that.
Well, that's why they're here.
Okay.
because it-
Thank
Okay.
you. Just wanted to clarify that.
Very good, thank you, Detective. Just to recap, there is a motion to continue these 3 hearings, actually 2 of these hearings, until April 18th, with the proviso that the hearings will be continued. However, if there is a issue related to a license violation at any one of the 3 premises, that the hours will be immediately rolled back to 11 p.m. Do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second the motion.
The motion is approved. The motion to continue the hearing until April 18th for William J. Chamness, DBA Chamness Bar and Grill, and, RKE Corp., DBA BK's Bar and Grill, until April 18th is approved, with the proviso that if there are any violations of the licensed premise, on the licensed premise related to the license, that it will be rolled back until 11 p.m. And regarding Boulevard Cafe Corp., DBA Sammy's Patio, 63 Revere Beach Boulevard, Mary Ellen Faisal, manager, that hearing will be continued until May 16th. Also, with the proviso that should any license premise violations occur during the intervening time, the hours of the premises will be rolled back to 11 p.m. That concludes the hearings. Next, we have communications. Notice from the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission approving the transfer application of GA Restaurant 2, Inc., DBA Santorini Restaurant. Number 2, the notice of the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission approving the transfer of Argueta and Piche Corporation, DBA Nino's Restaurant and Bar. We have some late license renewals for 2018. We have a common victular renewal for the Bagel Bin Incorporated, 207 Shirley Avenue, Revere. And we have an entertainment license also for the Bagel Bin, Inc., 207 Shirley Avenue, Revere.
Motion to approve?
Yes, that concludes the agenda for today. Is there any other business? The next meeting will be April 18th, Wednesday at 3 p.m. 18th, I thought, wasn't it the 18th? April 18th at 3 p.m. And I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
The Revere License Commission hearing is adjourned.